Salt Lake City is a normal rarity heavy cruiser from the Eagle Union and is part of the Pensacola class of heavy cruisers. SLC is only available from drops, specifically on stages 8-3, 8-4, all of Chapter 13, all maps in Fallen Wings, all maps excluding A1 and C1 in Winter's Crown, A2, A4, C2, and C4 in Divergent Chessboard, B1 to B3 and D1 to D3 and SP in Iris of Light and Dark, and all maps in Prelude Under the Moon. SLC was launched from the New York Shipbuilding Corporation on the 23rd of January 1929, commissioned on the 11th of December 1929, reclassified from light to heavy cruiser on the 1st of July 1931, decommissioned on the 29th of August 1946, survived the atomic aerial and subsurface burst during Operation Crossroads on the 1st and 25th of July 1946, sunk as a target on the 25th of May 1948, and stricken on the 18th of June 1948. SLC did the usual tasks an American heavy cruiser did in the Second World War. Here are her more interesting exploits. Assisted in the sinking of IJN I-70 and fired at another sub. Downed 2 Japanese bombers while supporting airstrikes on seaplane bases at Wachi, Malayup, and Kwajalein. Escorted the Doolittle Raid Task Force 16. Rescued the survivors of the Wasp's sinking. During the Battle of Cape Esperance, one of her search planes caught fire due to flares igniting in the cockpit. The Japanese flag officers interpreted the flare as the landing forces signaling and flashed their blinker light. This allowed the US ships to fire at the Japanese for a full 7 minutes before the Japanese realized what was happening. This ended up with the Furutaka sinking, Alba severely damaged, Kinogasa lightly damaged, and Fubuki sunk. During the Battle of the Komandorsky Islands, while SLC was being accompanied by Richmond and 4 destroyers, they came into contact with IJN Nachi, Maya, Tama, Awakuma, and 4 destroyers. The US ships believed that they would be easily dealt with, but the Japanese were able to hit the US ships multiple times. SLC was hit amidship, mortally wounding 2, and her rudder stops were carried away. A seaplane caught fire and the other hit flooded forward compartments. SLC took more hits, causing her boiler fires to die due to salt water entering the fuel feed lines. Bailey, one of the destroyers, was hit twice while covering for SLC. The Japanese ships retreated due to a number of factors, namely intercepting air support demands from the US ships, mistaking the HE shells for air bombs, and running through ammo and fuel quickly. The Americans did, however, succeed in preventing Japanese reinforcements from reaching their base in the Aleutians. In her character art, drawn by Violet, SLC wears the exact same outfit as Pensacola, with there really only being a few minor differences between the two. SLC wears a black bikini top with anchor clasps, underneath a white short coat with rolled up sleeves, a pink miniskirt, short black gloves with cuffs, and dark purple thigh-high boots with straps at the top and the tops folded down. Her rigging consists of 2 hulls near her knees, metal shoes, and the main rigging armature attached to her waist. This armature has 2 hulls that flank her, being red and gray, having wood decks, and 2 single-barrel AA guns on the top of the right deck, with a triple-barrel AA gun underneath them on the side of that deck. 2 triple-barrel naval cannons to her right and left, and a double-barrel naval cannon to her left, while in her right hand she holds an aiming stick. In her voice lines, voiced by the exact same VA as Pensacola, Manaka Iwami, who also voices Chiaki Hoshinomori in Gamers, Hotaru Hoshikawa in New Game, Erina Tucker in Recreators, Toru Honda in Fruits Basket, Chuntaro in Demon Slayer, Carmilla in ReZero, Millie in Spy Family, Mahiro Shina in Angel Next Door, Satyr in Grand Blue, Rice Shower in Uma Musume, CFO 5 and SIG 556 in GFL, Warfare and Excusii in Arknights, Amber in Genshin, Huanzhou in FGO, and Bridget in Guilty Gear Strive, SLC cares about her looks and enjoys the sea.
指揮官、私は従順ソルトレイクシティ。露出が高い？まあ、ウェイトコントロールは意識するでしょう。ヘレナ、レーダーで何か面白いこと探してもらえない？え？あれはサンディエゴ？よーし、一緒に水遊びに行こうよ。指揮官、砂浜で横になるだけじゃつまんないでしょ？ビーチバレーでもどう？日焼け？大丈夫。ペンサコーラ姉にもう日焼け止めを塗ってもらったから。アメリカンガールも肌荒れに気をつけないと。指揮官、一緒に泳ぎに行かない？指揮官が金槌なら泳ぎを教えてあげる。
At level 125 with max affinity and enhancements, SLC has the exact same stats as Pensacola, sans luck. She has 3,366 HP, 235 firepower, 202 AA, 162 reload, 57 evasion, light armor, 26 speed, 121 accuracy, 71 luck, and consumes 9 oil. SLC has one skill and an AoA, with a skill focusing on buffing her own firepower. SLC's first skill, full firepower, every 20 seconds, there's a 60% chance for SLC to buff her own firepower by plus 40% for 10 seconds. This buffs her own firepower, with no equipment, to 329. Her AoA looks like this, being procced every 8 times her main gun is fired. It's alright, as you're able to either focus your fire on one target, or spread it out to multiple targets if you move up and down while firing. The recommended equipment for SLC is the exact same as Pensacola, that being the prototype triple 203mm SKC MJM for the best AP heavy cruiser gun, the twin 100mm Type 98 Kai for the best general use DD gun for breaking shields quickly, the twin 57mm L60 Bofors for the best general use AA gun, the repair toolkit for more survivability and passive healing, the high perf steering gear for a buff to evasion, and the greatsword for a buff to firepower and the ability to perform a slash attack. Another day, another normal rarity ship to never use outside of enhancing other ships. Much like her sister Pensacola, Salt Lake City's just bad. Poor stats, poor skill, and even a poor way of obtaining her. That being only through drops on select stages where she's already completely useless and irrelevant by then. At least the full firepower skill is on someone useful rather than a destroyer or a light cruiser, but even then, that's not enough to even begin to redeem her. As I mentioned before, just use her to enhance your actually good ships. Don't even bother using her actually unless you're like level 1. But even then, you wouldn't have a way to obtain her. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Girls Frontline videos as well.